I'm coming to you unscripted. This is the real me. I got up and I was like, you know what? I want to make a video about my EDC. And if you don't know what that stands for, it means everyday carry. It's been something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I just haven't really formalized it. But with all the coronavirus stuff happening, I figure I should kind of get prepared and think through sort of the processes that I go through on a day-to-day basis and the stuff I need to survive. Not like survive like I'm jumping out into the middle of the desert, but survive like, oh geez, I need to take this screw out and I don't want to run back to the shop or wherever I have my screwdriver. I literally got the camera gear, came down to this garage, set it up, and I have everything that I have with me at all times. So I'm gonna do the pocket dump and go through each item, explain why I have it and some of the features. And if you like it, you can find links in the description below. And yeah, let's get started. No particular order. I'm just gonna go from head to toes. So these are just a pair of shitty polarized sunglasses. I had laser eye surgery, and ever since then, the sun really bothers me. Not too bad, but you know, it's always good to have a pair of sunglasses. And when I was young and naive, I got very expensive sunglasses and proceeded to lose them at every restaurant and bar. So if I had bought cheap sunglasses, I could have saved quite a bit of money and bought some tools. So sunglasses. On my right wrist, I have this Paracord bracelet, which, I don't know, it's kind of nice to wear, but what's really good is its string. So it's, I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but if you take it apart, you have a piece of high strength paracord that you can use to tie things up, to bind stuff down. What you can do is you can combine it with the keychain feature, which I'll get to in a second. So if you ever have a need to tie something, it's good to have a little piece of string on you, and you don't even notice you have it on until you realize, oh man, it'd be great to be able to tie something or bandage something. All right, so next item is watch. This is a G-Shock Rangeman. It's the new edition that has the black reverse screen. I used to wear a watch most of the way through high school and into college. I really liked the Swiss Army leather strapped watch. And then I sort of became a hippie minimalist and was like, I don't need to tell time. I'm not constrained by the world. And recently I was in Japan and my boss had a G-Shock and he wore it all the time. It beeped. It had alarms for the brakes. It beeped every hour. He always knew, he was always on time. And I thought, you know what? I think it's time to wear a watch again. Because when you want to know the time, it's nice to just be able to look at your wrist and not pull out a phone. And if people see you look at your watch, then you're obviously telling the time. But if people see you pulling out your phone to look at something, they might think you're, you know, ignoring them. So there's tons of YouTube videos that go into a review of of all the cool features of this watch, but the reason I chose this one is it is pretty bulletproof, you know, mud-proof, waterproof. It can get covered in grime. It can go to depth of 20 bar, and it has the temperature sensor, altimeter, barometric pressure, compass. So it sort of has all of the things you might need in a real crisis, like, oh shit, I got lost and I have no idea which direction I'm going. So just having something to tell you could be nice. Plus it tells the time, it has a stopwatch, it has a sunrise. It's a pretty nice watch. So that's the watch. Wedding ring, obviously you have to carry that so the wife knows that you aren't gonna stray. I made this wedding ring. It's meteorite iron, Damascus steel. I sort of forged a billet and then lathed it down. That has nothing to do with everyday carry. It's just, I'm pretty proud of it. All right, so now that's my hands. Let's go on to the belt line, which is where most of the gear usually lives. I'll circle back to the keys. So this is my friend's car key, but you're gonna have your car key. The things I really want to point out on this are the USB stick. So this, it doesn't have it right now, but I realize as I'm talking about this that I should do this, which is put sort of all the important documents that I need with probably a password protection on the folder or something. So like if you're in a pinch, you can access, you know, a copy of your passport or important documents like those. But really, it's just nice to be able to transfer files, stuff like that. So I just keep that on my keychain. And then a little pill case, vitamins, Adderall, whatever. Nice to have a just-in-case supply. And then black diamond, real climbing carabiner, not like one of those fake Home Depot garbage carabiners. This is the real deal locking carabiner. Why do I have this locking carabiner? Again, when I was young and youthful and spending money and had lots of silly things, I had a motorcycle and I had a fancy convertible. And let's just say one night out, I lost all the keys. And when you lose those types of keys, you have to spend hundreds of dollars to get replacements. You have to get a locksmith to come to your motorcycle to impression the gas tank, or well, I think that was the easiest way. And then they looked up the key. So I was like, well, at that point, never again. And I have not lost my keys off my person since. But between this carabiner and this paracord, you can do a lot of things. You could make I guess you could make a rappel harness. I'm not super into the like, oh, I'm gonna make a rappel harness out of, you know, a piece of twine and then, you know, go down in the canyon because I'm like super hardcore. But let's say you had to lift a load or something. Maybe you could make a little rig with this, and you could solve all sorts of problems. So having a hook and having a piece of string can really solve a lot of problems for you. That's really what the EDC is all about for me, is like solving problems and sort of providing yourself insurance. And I'll get into the insurance aspect in the next video where I cover sort of the bag of stuff that I take with me at all places. But you want to be a way in the world to where the problems that you encounter can be easily overcome. And it's nice to rely on what you have with you and not have to depend on others. And that sounds a little callous, but if your car breaks down in the middle of the rain, it's nice to know that you can figure something out. You know, change a tire or whatever. If you need to hitch up something to a truck, it's nice to know that you have a bit of string and some tools with you. You don't have to wait around for a tow truck to come. So for me, that's what this is all about, is solving problems. On the left pocket, I have a Streamlight mini flashlight because it's really nice to be able to see what you're doing. It's so small, I don't even notice it in the pocket, and the battery lasts a real long time. And the cool feature about this is that if you pull this cap, it has the USB charger. So you just pull it out, plug your USB cable in there, and it charges it up. A little click. So, you know, it's amazing when you're suddenly in a dark place and you can just whip out a little flashlight and have light. Then on the right pocket, Leatherman Signal. This is so useful. I love this. I always used to carry a Swiss Army knife, and this is just that, but taken to 1,000 times better. So like a quick rundown, you can find more reviews on this, but a quick rundown is it has a little carabiner hook, which opens your beer. You can use this to slam stuff as a hammer. It can hold those little hex bit screws, so you can like turn any kind of hex bit screw. And then these are also like mini wrenches. Obviously a blade with a serration. On this side it has a saw, which is something that I have not used much. Maybe one time I trimmed a little thing because I was up on a roof and I needed a saw, but nice to have a saw, so it's pretty sharp still. Inside, pliers, wire cutters, that is very handy to have. Screwdriver, Phillips, and flathead. So I've used this a billion times. You're always like, oh shit, I need a screwdriver. And then it has the awl and a, get out of here, can opener. And the really cool features of this guy is it has this whistle for like, oh god, I'm getting attacked by a bear. And on the other side of the whistle is a Paracord, what is it called? Ferro rod? Yeah, so you can start fires. And on this side, it has a little diamond hone to tune up your blades or file anything down. This thing is invaluable. I mean, if you're not carrying a multi-tool, you're basically useless to the world, because there's a billion things that you can just take care of right there with a multi-tool like the Leatherman Signal. So then, also, I carry the Husky wood folding utility blade. This thing, I've bought maybe 6 of these, because not only have I lost them sometimes, but I leave them in all different corners of the world that I end up being. What's great about this is you just change the blade, you flip it over. And, you know, for opening packages and boxes and you know, cutting out caulk or all sorts of things where you want a pointy blade or maybe a little hole or something, this is so great. And you don't worry about the blade. When it gets dull, you replace it. Whereas this blade, you know, this is a much more, I sort of take care of this blade better. This is like the blade that always stays sharp. And, you know, if this gets dull and I need to cut something, I can use this. Whereas this is sort of the everyday usage blade. I'm constantly using both. So it is nice to have these two different options. You almost hardly ever have to sharpen your main blade because you have this one that you can swap in and out. I'd like to find one of these. Maybe that's a slightly better quality, but really this has never failed me. I mean, I've done concrete work. This has gotten covered in concrete dust. I rinse it out, I oil it, and the mechanism is fine. So if it's not broke, don't mess with it. In the back pocket, phone. You know, this is a very useful item. Obviously, we all carry phones. You got navigation, you got communication, and the key element here is the OtterBox protection case. I've thrown this thing off roofs. I've dropped it onto concrete. You know, people are like, that's a huge case. Why are you carrying a huge case like that? Like if you're building anything or, you know, trying to do any rough work, you're gonna pull out your phone, you're gonna set it somewhere with some plans, and it's gonna fall off some scaffolding, or it's gonna fly out of your hand and you're taking a picture. And I mean, you can see I already got to replace this case. It has 2 cracks here, but you know, if it falls, unless it falls on something sharp, it has these bumpers that will protect it. And I mean, this phone is in still great shape. So thanks, OtterBox. In the front left pocket, I have the wallet. I think this company went out of business. Goose or Gus or however you pronounce it. Money clip wallet. Nothing special. Cards. Insurance. License, etc. I just really like simple minimal wallet. And maybe the last thing that you could say I carry every day is this sweet Snow Peak titanium insulated coffee cup. Not exactly an everyday carry, but it is really nice to have a cup of coffee with you at all times and keep it hot. I hope you enjoyed this explanation of my everyday carry. I hope you found inspiration to prepare yourself for all the little things that come along. It's just not like a life and death, tactical, whatever. This is like, you gotta tighten a screw on something, or you have to cut open a box, or your power went out and you need to find the candles. Just taking care of everything. So next time I'll go into this bad boy, which is my sort of man purse, throw it in the truck. This is where I start to put the tinfoil hat on a little bit. And this is a bit more about surviving the end of the world. And we can talk about that next time. So if you like this type of content, let me know, because I do a lot of woodworking stuff. And sometimes I like to mix it up and kind of show you who I really am behind, sort of how I do stuff. And how I am, like how I think about things. So please like, subscribe, click that bell, and check out the Patreon page. Okay, we'll see you next time. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. If you found this content helpful, please consider supporting Never Stop Building. The easiest way to do that is to simply hit that red subscribe button and click the little bell to get notified of new videos. Even better is to become a Patreon, where you can get early access to videos before they're scheduled to be posted, plans and CAD models, and some other cool benefits as well. So check the description below for a link to that. I want to give a shout out to our newest Patreon, Nish. So thanks so much for supporting the channel and the work that I'm trying to do here. And as always, never stop building.